Two guys and a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys and a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
What's a Blerd? That's a black guy who's also a nerd. Reading comics, watching anime. Haven't you heard? It's Jeremy J and Miriam talking to Delirium. Naruto, then Marvel, then DC. Are you hearing him? Pop culture reverends pull them out periodically. We sing of movies with the comics canonically, and we watch a lot of TV. It's our virtual reality. I guarantee one day we'll have a TV show on NBC.
Two guys and a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys and a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. All right, we're here. Yep,
We're here, we're queer, and
happy to be here.
hey, you just rhymed here with here. Why am I so loud
Because
though?
we're allies.
Do you see that? I mean, we'll see. All right.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Blerd Survival Guide. I'm your co-host, Jeremy.
I'm your co-host, Jay.
And this is the...
Who cares at this point? We're doing
we're doing it.
this
We're
thing.
we're in there. We're in it. We're on a new episode of Blerd Survival Guide. And how are you doing today, Jay?
Man, I am feeling on 10, man. Like the song says, you know, I'm on 10. Like, I feel great. Had a new job interview today.
Ooh, tell us more. Not enough.
I'll save you the details. I'll spare you the details. But at the end of the interview, they told me that I was the number one candidate. So that's pretty dope.
Nice, very nice. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how they decide to treat me.
Well, everybody out there in the serververse, send Jay some good vibes, and we're gonna put the positives in the atmosphere. We know that he's got this in the bag, and by next week we'll know for sure that he had this in the bag.
Hey, and I'll be happy to update everybody. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We are recording a day later than we usually do, and it's during the daytime, which is kind of weird because I have my lamp on in my room, but also it's sunny outside. Well, sunny-ish outside. It's been a rainy day, but it's pretty good. I'm awake. I had 2 cups of coffee before we got started, so I may be a little jittery and jumpy. I had a lot of sugar in this Columbia.
Hey, you got a lot to say then.
Let's do it.
Hey, before we get started though, I do want to make a quick shout out, if you don't mind. Our good friend Nathan Getman and his wife Tori just had their baby today. young Jackson Michael is his name, and
that's an awesome name.
It's a good name.
Hey.
It's a good name. My middle name is Michael, so I think, and Nate's father's name is Michael.
Wait, so his name is J. Michael Getman?
Jackson Michael Getman.
Yeah, but J. Michael Getman,
Yeah.
as in J. Michael Williams.
Yeah,
Look at that. Oh, that's
no. But no, I think, and he said that they're gonna nickname him Jax. So yeah,
I like that.
I think it's a badass name.
I like that a lot.
think
Congratulations, Nate. Congratulations to you, your wife, everybody in the family. That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for him. So just want to send him our love and our appreciation.
Yeah, let me bounce off you on the shout outs because yesterday, the day that we usually record on Sunday, we did a live interview with our pals over at Blerd Over podcast. You can follow them on Blerd Over on Instagram, and we just had a nice easy conversation with them. It was actually pretty dope.
It was a wonderful interview.
Got to
Skip
actually
was the
meet with
man.
Skip. Yeah, Skip, you are amazing. We appreciate you for having us on, and we look forward to partnering with you again and with some future endeavors.
I think it's so cool how he uses his platform because he does food drives, he does back to school drives, he does a whole bunch of like philanthropy and community work from his platform because he's all about building people up.
Oh yeah, that's some of that Black Tony Stark level type stuff like that. Instead of I don't know if he's a billionaire. That his finances are his finances, but like that Playboy philanthropist, I do like about him. That philanthropy part is the strong part that I want to recognize about Skip is that he was he told us that his platform is a community. It's very community based,
right.
And that's what I want us to become partially, as well as being the gracious and personality driven host that we are.
Without a doubt,
and
man. He definitely sets an example for what a good podcast can do and be for our community.
Oh yeah. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, shout out to Nate and family. Shout out to Skip and the Blerd Over family. Thank you for having us. Thank you for letting us be part of your family now. And without further ado, let's get into this episode. We went from the very positives to what we think is probably some of the little bit more negative side of TV and film and entertainment. We're going to be dealing with some villains today.
Some of our favorite villains.
Some
man.
villains, some bullies, some treacherous ne'er-do-wells, if you will.
We're going to be discussing some of our favorite villains, and we're going to go across platforms. You know, we'll talk about movies, we'll talk about TV shows, we'll talk maybe even some video games. Who knows?
And video games, comic books.
I mean, just some of our favorite villains across our experience, and we hope that you guys will be able to tell us some of your favorite villains once we get this posted and interact with us through our social media.
Of course. So, survivalists, without further ado, let's get into it. What I would want to start off with is how we define a villain.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
going across those things because I mean we
kind of changed a little bit, you know, and over time I think that because we've gotten more empathy for villains now because we've seen these backstory movies. We know that a villain is not the same thing that it used to be. It's not like as cut and dry.
Not the man stealing the woman, the damsel in distress, putting her on the train tracks and waiting for the train to inevitably.
I mean, that is very villainous.
over.
However, it's less real now, right?
Less real than it was back in the 30s.
Exactly. So for me, when I think of a villain, I think of someone who has a role that in that moment, in whatever storyline, they are pretty much only looking out for themselves. They have no sense of trying to build anybody else up. They typically are only looking out for them at any cost. Doesn't matter who they hurt along the way.
Right.
I think that it's not so much about them trying to cause harm for harm's sake. It's for harm. They're willing to cause harm in order to further their agenda. That's what I think of when I think of what a present day villain may be.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I guess my interpretation of what a villain is, what we're discussing today, it is, like you said, someone with their own agenda of doing things. They are wanting a better world, but not necessarily taking the best of means to get there.
Totally hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, and that can be someone as big as, and this is not even us starting to get into it yet, but someone as big as like Loki, who wants to take over the world for the pure means of just ruling it and letting go of freedom for freedom's sake, like he said in the first Avengers.
Because he said he thinks that freedom
isn't free.
Yeah, and it's an illusion.
Right. But can I go almost as small as like that College Humor parody of Captain Planet, where it's like he just wants people to stop littering for the better of the planet, but he's taking his, even though it's a parody, it's still him as a villain. His means is stop littering. Like Planetina would be the best way of saying that. She actually starts killing people because she wants them to stop littering and stop making the world a bad place to live in.
I mean, I immediately think of Thanos, right? Like, I mean,
let's
clear out half the universe to make it better. Don't damn everybody else's opinion or the consequences. The world is ultimately, in his eyes, going to be better.
Yeah, if there's half the people, half the population, half of everything, because that's, I mean, in in-game standards, and the directors of in-game, the movie, and the MCU standards, when he snapped out half the universe, the Russo brothers, the directors of the movie, said that he snapped out half the universe. That's including plant life, bugs, microscopic germs, any type of life, anything that can, quote unquote, breathe life. He snapped out of existence, half of it out of existence. So that's what they meant, which means technically he didn't save it. He just cut it in half.
He eliminated it.
He just eliminated half of the problem, which means we still have a whole problem just cut in half. We still don't have the food resources. We still don't have the necessary doctors and lawyers and stuff, whichever planet you come from, whatever that means.
Which is like what he didn't intend on, because it was like, yes, we're going to snap out all the life from the world, but that does include fruits, vegetables, like food source. But we're still working with half of the problem without removing the problem.
Exactly. So it was basically all for a moot point, and he just kind of was like, well, I did my job. I'm gonna
And
go
the
sit on the
thing-
space
and
farm.
that's the thing, man. He does not see himself as the villain. And
No, he
villain
never did.
really-
He never did, and that's
And no villain really ever does.
exactly. They always see themselves, and I said this literally in probably either the 20th episode or like last week's. I said that every villain sees himself as their own hero in the story, and it's very true when it comes to Thanos. Which I mean, I think we're just getting into this conversation now. That is probably top villain on both of our lists, probably.
I mean, he's well up there, and I mean, I'm not gonna put him in the top 5 for me.
Okay.
And it's nothing against like what he did or like the writing of the character. For me though, it's less tangible because like I think my favorite villains are the ones that are more tangible. The ones that I feel like are more real, like that could exist in real life.
Oh yeah, the more realistic ones, which I
mean, so like my top villain right now, and I mean I'm just gonna go ahead and go in on it. My top villain right now is Algae Rhythm.
Really? I was surprised. Okay.
I know. So like it's a weird surprise right now.
I mean, you said something real, and then you said algorithm. My mind went completely to like John Walker.
That's
like,
fair. I mean, that's totally fair. Like I get that. But
which I mean, that would be mine. But like, I'm gonna let you continue with algorithm. Why algorithm?
He's so real, dude. He's such a manipulative adult.
That is true.
Life.
That is very true.
Like, I mean, yes,
what he did to get Dom to do his
it's
bidding.
So real because you see I've seen these adults in my life, like these false prophets that come and act like that they're going to lead you to the promised land.
It's weird. It's almost like it's a don't meet your hero complex kind of deal because that was basically what Dom did. He met his quote unquote hero in algorithm. The coolest tech guy, even though it is an algorithm for Warner Brothers, but like he still is the guy that's saying, "Hey, you do this, we're going to make you your character. We're going to rebuild your character. He's going to be more powerful.
Give you everything you want,
but then it's also
no lessons to learn.
Nope, it's actually my game now. I stole the code for it. I hacked into it. It's mine. You can't have it anymore. Ha ha ha."
How often do adults take credit for the work of a younger employee or individual?
People, if you can see the look on my face right now.
Boy, I'm just saying, like the realness of that villain is it's too real because it happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to you.
Definitely, yeah, I've definitely had that happen. Yeah,
you know that step show, that daggum step show, how that happened. And I mean, yes, she was nice as heck to you, wasn't she?
She was, and I got paid for it under the table.
And then she just took it.
I want my DVD back, ma'am. It's been almost 10 years. I want my DVD from my step show. That wasn't your step show. That was my step show.
So you see what I'm saying?
I want retro. I'm going to become the villain of her story in a minute. This is about to happen.
Oh boy, she retired now.
I'll find her.
No, man, but yeah, that's like I said,
don't press buttons.
Like I said, like it just it came to me in the car. I was like, I want my top villain to be someone that I think that we all can relate to.
I was just about to say that he is very relatable in the sense of like, and that's what the thing with a lot of adults growing up too. Because when I was younger, watching SpongeBob was one of my favorite TV shows.
Okay.
Squidward isn't necessarily the villain of the show. He is a constant antagonist to SpongeBob because of his pessimistic attitude and him not wanting to be there.
Sees that
Exactly. A lot of heroes don't see that either at first. They see some of
the best in the people.
Exactly. And but like with Squidward's pessimist attitude and everything, like he would have these funny quips because he's such a pessimist and doesn't want to be at work and all that stuff, and just wants to like focus on his clarinet music and stuff at home because that's him as an artsy person. My mom loved him. When I was growing up, I'm a kid. I like SpongeBob. I like Patrick.
Your mom loves.
My mom,
was all about Squidward.
Squidward was her.
She could relate to Squidward.
Exactly. And as I grew up, and I'm like, and it was a meme I saw too. It's like we all wanted to be SpongeBob when we were little. We grew up, we became Squidward, and it's literally.
There's some realness to that. There's some realness to that.
And that's the thing with a lot of villains. That's the thing that like attracts. I would say, quote unquote, like I'm using a lot of air quotes today, but a lot of adults, a lot of people in our generation now that we are adults, young adults,
attracted to the villains.
We're attracted to villains nowadays because they are relatable to us in a sense that we don't have to do everything for the sake of the human world. We don't have to do everything. We want to be happy for ourselves, and that's what a lot of villains want to be. They just want to be happy.
Yeah. The thing about these villains is like we're seeing this now through the for instance, the Cruella de Vil biopic.
Loved it. I mean,
origin story. These people are not just, they don't ever start out evil. They're worn down by the world, right? Like they're worn down by what affects them most seriously, and it creates the villain. It's never, and as humans, as adults who grew up watching a villain that no one had any kind of understanding for, we want it, and we start to feel ourselves resonate with this villain as we grow older. We then want that villain to be understood because we feel more like the villain than we feel like the hero.
And I think that's why all these movies are like villain led or like the origin stories of villains. Yeah. It's because these are the writers and directors of these movies now were us back in teenage years. So,
the millennials. It's a millennial generation.
Yeah, so we're feeling for these villains.
Feeling for I got feel. What's the the song from
Got Me Catching Villains?
Got Me Catching Villains
from Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go, man.
Yeah.
Like that's a bop.
Yeah, man.
Boy, Beast Boy goes hard.
That's another.
We need to
talk about. That's another episode of like talking about those songs that you wouldn't necessarily hear on the radio that you hear on TV shows, like Steve Smith, like Beast Boy.
I'm game. We'll discuss those.
Yeah.
But now, it's your turn. I went into a little bit.
We both went into it. Got about 10 minutes left in the episode.
Boy.
But no, I guess another villain, and I guess because I already said his name, John Walker. That's probably one of my top.
Such a relatable villain.
Yeah,
bro. Like another heavily relatable.
Yeah, I mean,
villain.
dude came in like literally. We see his whole arc within the TV show of Falcon and Winter Soldier. He comes in as top tier soldier, ready to fight for his country, ready to be the representation of the country in Captain America once our original Captain America dies.
That no one asked for.
Exactly. But you see that power corrupt him, and you see that throughout the episode, and that was one of the many messages from Captain America and Winter Soldier is that power corrupts people,
and we know this,
Literally, him physically holding that shield, him taking the serum, which we don't see on screen, but it is very heavily alluded to.
Right. He reminds me of a police officer, bro. Like
he definitely represents the police officers of today,
like the corrupt police officer. Like he really. They gave this man a gun, the shield, and and gave him very little training. And look where we ended up.
Him killing somebody in the middle of the street, in the middle of the square.
All cameras on him.
The world is watching. Literally, the name of the episode, The World is Watching. Oh my God.
Such a poignant episode.
Woo!
But you're right. I really like I see why you, or really any black man for that matter,
we'll see him as a villain.
Would see him as a top villain.
Yeah, as a top villain. Because I mean,
especially like nowadays.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of doesn't help that like the police officers' colors were the same color scheme as Captain America. Like,
you're right.
Navy blue and
that dark
red,
navy color, man. That I was talking to.
That's also. I mean, like, kind of sidebar. I'll let you continue, but that was kind of like that's why my least favorite Captain America suit is his stealth suit from Winter Soldier.
Ooh,
because it's that navy blue.
It's triggering.
Yeah, That's like I've always told myself. I've told people sometimes that literally it's not my absolute favorite Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier. It has its great points. I love the fight scene. That's probably the most iconic fight scene in Marvel. That movie as a whole, I mean, it's a political thriller. That's essentially what the Captain America movies are. Well, the exception of the first one, with the exception of the first one, but
in a war movie.
Yeah, but Winter Soldier, it definitely is a political thriller. It's dealing with it's dealing with politics, with the side of action.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
With him, literally, he's literally
it's the perfect thing to lead in the Civil War.
Yeah,
right?
and it's definitely. I mean, it's Captain America. It's our Captain America, Steve, as a police officer. He's basically policing the world at this point, and that's kind of like that's why it's not my favorite suit for him to begin with, and I like how he does break away from that. He goes back to his original suit.
It's not representative of what he wanted to be.
Exactly, and that's why I like how he changed to the end,
deep, bro.
Yeah. And I just actually kind of figured it out.
That's deep, bro.
I just kind of figured it out.
So I was like talking to JD this weekend. I got to go to Augusta this weekend for his birthday.
Fun.
So
happy belated, JD.
And we got in we were talking about policing, and the fact that you have to call the police every time you get in a car accident is triggering. Like the fact that the police have to be there in order for you to deal with the insurance and deal with getting your car fixed and all of these things is unnecessary.
It very much so is.
All it is an added piece of anxiety for an unfriendly event where I have to contend with someone who might look at me as a black man and not be okay with what happened.
Right. Even if you're not at fault, it's like you're afraid of what may happen because you were there.
Right. Exactly.
It can somehow turn against you, and it's like, no, I just wanted to let you know that so and so happened. It happened to me. I didn't do anything to them.
Exactly.
And then it turns into,
you know, well, you don't know.
Yeah,
that's
you don't know.
Thing,
Yeah.
Like, that's the terrible thing.
That's why I just kind of stopped. It turns into ... That's
exactly. That ellipse there, man, and whatever happens in that ellipse could definitely be a gunshot.
Yeah.
And so, I mean...
But that's my top villain.
Yeah, it's a great top villain, man. It's a great top villain. So another villain that I was just kind of thinking of, and it's very off the cuff, and it's not exactly... I think of him immediately when I think of villain. Mm-hmm. And really kind of more of bully, but still... Ready for it?
Gotcha.
Troy McGinty from Max Keeble's Big Move.
Oh, yeah.
You remember him?
The
redheaded kid.
He would open up his leather jacket and like whoever his victim was that day was on the shirt.
It's a traditional bully, man.
Yeah.
Like that old school traditional bully is something that
it set a mold.
It did. It did, man. It was that traditional bully that I think kind of prepared us a little bit for the real world because it was not so much more extreme than a lot of the bullying that took place in our school time when we were in grade school, because the internet was more of a thing and cyberbullying was more of a thing rather than stuffing someone in
the locker, getting wedgies.
But that kind of bully, man, I love that kind of bully because it's not it's entertaining. Yeah. It's not as realistic,
more physical, cartoonish to a degree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what is it? Physical comedy.
Yeah, slapstick. Yeah.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
And it's not as realistic. It's more realistic for like our parents.
Yeah, because they definitely grew with that. Yeah,
our grandparents, like like the bully. What's his name from the Back to the Future movies?
Oh, Biff. Yeah.
Biff. Like
Biff Tannen.
Yeah, and another classic bully slash.
Oh, that's my favorite movie of all time. Like when people ask me what your favorite movie is, I go straight to Back to the Future.
Great movie, great villain. I mean, iconic villain, yes. Right? Like just the Biffs.
The fact that the director based his future self off of Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Says so many things.
Oh man,
says so many things.
The casino owner, the
technically like the president of the town and stuff like that. Not quote unquote.
He's the mayor-ish,
but he's also like this creepy sex fiend type thing. Yeah.
Gross. Yeah. Freaking gross, dude.
Yeah.
But like, same situation there, right? Like same kind of bully, same kind of villain.
Not the big like I'm trying to take over the world kind of thing. I just want to be.
I want to make I just want to make my life as best as it can.
I want to make my life heaven. I want to make everyone's life a living hell. That's literally his. Yeah.
I want everybody to feel as miserable as I do on the inside. Basically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Basically, and that's kind of like, and that villain even has a story, right? Because like we see that villain. Arguably in like The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Of that. He's not a villain. Like the teachers are the villains in that.
Yeah, that vice principal is just like, you want another week of detention? There's another week. Oh, you talking again? There's another week.
Like no empathy for
two more weeks.
No empathy for the child who is getting cigarette burns at home.
I'm saying literally getting damaged at home physically, mentally, and emotionally.
And that's also why I have empathy. Love that villain because that villain has a hard time at home.
No, he wouldn't count him as a villain more as he's the bad boy.
Like Troy McGinty.
Oh,
yeah. The reason why
that's like most bullies. Like they're coming from a home where they are being bullied, so
like a traditional Boy Meets World villain. Frankie, whatever his name is.
Yeah. No, I got you.
That kind of, I just love that style of villain because it's relatable.
It's like know the story, like their story, but then also it's like they don't have to act. They can break that mold. They can break that familial curse.
Yeah, and you see that sometimes too. You see them really grow understanding for why they were behaving as they were.
Yeah, sometimes it takes one movie. Sometimes it takes a whole season arc. But
exactly,
yeah, you see it happen. With the little time that we have left, let's just kind of pop off some villains that we probably like or dislike. I guess top 3 that we can just think of offhand.
Okay. Okay. You want to go back and forth?
We can. I was just gonna do like my all 3, like just right here and there. Just
pop them off. Go.
So I was gonna do Rick Sanchez.
All right.
Like he's a villain of his own story, straight up.
His own worst enemy.
Definitely. There's an issue when you're the most powerful and smartest man in all the universes. It can lead to some terrible things.
It sure can.
If you saw the most recent episode, it's hilarious, but we'll get into that later. Give me a second. Joker.
Great villain.
From Batman.
As you should, as fitting for you.
Yeah, and that's from the comic books, from the movies, from the TV shows. The man, he does things for the sake of doing things. That's it. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about power.
Chaos.
He's just
Chaos.
Yes, that's I don't like the Dark Knight, but that's the only reason I watch the Dark Knight is for Heath Ledger's Joker, because he literally said, like, he had that scene where he has the Tower of Money and all that, and like, it's literally millions of dollars. He literally just lights a match, slides down, and it's just like, I did this because I wanted to. That was no reason.
I mean, the fact that he just blew up a hospital for no reason. Exactly. That's just like, that's what it is.
Exactly. And then last one, let me get to it. It's one from the more recent ones. It's from the comic book and the TV shows. Actually, no. Let me do the video game. I'm gonna do Doc Ock from the Spider-Man video game.
So Doc Ock, his story is interesting.
Yeah, because it makes you feel bad.
It does. It does. It's not. You feel much more like he's out of control, right? Like he has. It's much less control than Tobey Maguire's Doc Ock.
Right. And like the Spider-Man version. Real quick before I let you go, is like his is more of, I'm a man who's he's losing everything. He's lost money, the grants for his lab. He's literally losing his mind. His marriage is failing, if I remember correctly. I don't even think he has a marriage. I think he's just been single this whole time. Okay. Like he lost his best friend from Oscorp. What's his name? Harry Osborn. Yeah. They were best friends in college. Right. Created Oscorp, and then literally they were told like he wanted to do his own project. They were pushed out, right? Yeah, he was, but and then literally everything that led to him becoming Doc Ock, and like that whole switch in his personality. When I played it for the first time, it hurt. Right. Yeah, watching that, it hurt because it's like, wow, like this mentor. Great video game. It really is. Yeah, that one and Miles Morales. Like, I think that's just like a common. Everyone that is probably listening to this podcast knows how great of a video. Oh yeah, but like literally, you see your mentor becoming this evil being, just kind of like
it hurts. Yeah, man. It hurts because like you see them being continually poisoned.
Right, and literally physically and emotionally. But yeah, those are my top three, real quick. And then what about you, Jay?
So first off, I'm gonna go movie and go with Saw. Like Jigsaw from those films. And I mean, it's basically because he's an evil genius. I always...
Let's play a game.
As a villain, he never killed anybody, right? Like, he never physically was responsible for somebody's death. And, like, the only things about the Saw franchise, and the only times that people die unnecessarily is when it's not him trying to do the game.
Yeah, this is more like a psychological torture.
Well, his thing was always to try and get people to face their demons, overcome their demons, and never go back to their demons. That's why he would put people in scenarios or, traps that shove their demons in their face, basically. Like, say someone was a person that does self-harm, right? Like, so he would likely throw the key to what gets them out of that room in a bale of razor blades and expect them to be able to crawl through it and get it and then
get out
get out. Like, and obviously there's like a video, I want to play a game, and give some reasons why that they're in the game. But whenever people, if they didn't do it, they didn't do it, and then they die.
More so of a good intentions, terrible means kind of
Precisely.
Gotcha. Still not gonna watch those movies, but I gotcha.
That's cool though, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Loki. I'm gonna go with Loki as like.
See, my thing is, I saw him as a hero now. We've got to this point, but like beforehand.
Man. I mean, he's a great villain.
That's the reason people fell in love with him.
His double crosses are legendary. We know that he comes in with business. Like he comes in to take care of business.
Oh yeah.
He's unsuccessful, unfortunately, by his standards. But I just think of him as an awesome person to emulate villainy, as it was.
Oh, definitely. No.
And then last but not least, I think I'm going to go with the iconic Magneto from X-Men.
That man stood for
That man stood for justice.
He did. He did.
He was,
by any means necessary.
Precisely. He is the Malcolm X of
mutants.
Of the mutants. He's
Love
the
it.
Malcolm X to Professor X MLK. You know, he believed in revolution. He believed in justice, but it was not by the means.
Not by peaceful
peaceful means. And you know, I can resonate with that.
As sometimes you just gotta get shit done.
That comes from a marginalized community, you get fed up, bro. You get fed up, and you need somebody who will lead that charge.
You know who I would want to play Magneto if they put him in the MCU?
Oh, who?
Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I feel like he would give a powerful performance.
He would.
Man, you would feel that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
would feel the hurt.
Like you could change the narrative. Like he could still be Jewish because I mean you don't have to be white to be Jewish.
White to be Jewish. No.
Yeah, but it can still be like
piss some people off.
It will, but like he could still be Jewish. He could still like he could have had parents or anything.
I mean, very easily could have been in a concentration camp.
Yeah, and like I mean, I'm pretty sure there were more than just white people in the concentration camps in Germany.
There were.
Yeah,
there were.
And I mean, literally, you literally can have him go, I'm Jewish, I'm black, and I'm a mutant. It's gonna make some people feel some stuff.
he's so eloquent. I love how he speaks.
Yes.
Like he just delivers a line that when you feel it, it's powerful.
Yeah.
Man. Sterling K. Brown is a fantastic actor.
Props. Shout out to him.
Come on the show.
Yeah, but no, excellent villains on both ends for both of us.
I really appreciated this discussion, and I really hope that folks interact with our Instagram and tell us their favorite villains.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let us know who you feel are in that top tier
Who's
villainy.
worthy of the top 10.
Yeah, because we definitely will. We can put out a top 10 list. What we're gonna do now is take a quick break. That we can always go on and on about villains because that was we got into it today. But we can go on and on. But what we're gonna do now is take a quick break. You're gonna hear a word from our sponsor Anchor, and then we will be right back with the weekly blurb. See you guys in a few seconds.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy here to talk to you about Anchor, the free podcast tool that you all need. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, like I said, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So guys, go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm on your computer to get started.
Welcome back, everybody.
Woo, welcome back. You know what time it is? It's time for the
Weekly blurb.
I think it's your turn to go first, Jay.
Oh, man, I'm happy to go first because I have been watching the Olympics.
Okay, I'm done.
I don't even know what you sing
That was
to.
the Olympic thing.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It goes to show how much I pay attention.
You said you watched it.
Bro, I watch the sport. I don't watch the opening. I watch the different competition.
Commercials. We'll be right back with the Olympics 2021.
The Olympics Tokyo. It's not the Olympics 2021. They're in Tokyo.
Yeah, but it's 20. What year is it?
Shut up. Oh man. So I don't want to just talk about like the Olympics in general. I know America's doing great. We're competing against China in the total medal count. Great. Whatever.
Yeah, this is the one time where everybody is in conjunction with saying "Go America."
But you know what what I really want to talk about is Simone Biles.
We call her the mental health queen in this household.
Bro, she's a legend.
Man, Naomi. Sorry.
Yeah.
But definitely Simone, go ahead.
I just want to commend her strength. And, people are talking trash about her, and the ones that are clearly do not have it together, in my opinion. And I, as a mental health professional, I fully endorse the fact that she gets to take a damn break, and that and she gets to prove that her mental health ain't worth this job.
You feel me?
I don't care what job you have.
This is coming from our mental health expert and Blerd survival guide. Like
I don't care what job you have. Your mental health does not have to be sacrificed in order for you to make someone else feel better.
And she exhibited that on a global level.
And she is an icon for it because she is sitting here telling you, I don't care how great you think I am, I can have a bad day. Like anybody else can have a bad day. And if I can have a bad day when I'm this premier athlete, A+ individual, then you give someone else who hasn't achieved as much as I have some freaking slack, man.
She's definitely letting us know, letting the world, letting the judges, letting these ne'er-do-wells, I don't like that word.
Ignorant people.
Yes, letting all of them know, at the end of the day, we're all one race. We're the human race. Emphasis on the human.
Right.
Give us a break.
Right.
Dude, like, that whole deal, and I mean... What the things that led up to it, because it's like the judges couldn't score her fairly. They said we weren't going to score you fairly because you're above the rest of
because you're too OP. How do you go? How you be too OP for the Olympics? That's literally for the Olympics.
That's like Jay. It's like telling you, hey, you're too good for this job. We're not going to give it to you. But I'm perfect for the job. But you're too good at it.
I'm sorry, she's overqualified at the Olympics. The greatest athletes in the world.
Or you literally have to be qualified at least that level. You have to be the world. It's the world's best competing. What is Simone Biles? She's literally the world's best gymnast.
Exactly.
The world's best.
Exactly. And she's coming back for the
she has one more event. Yeah, it's the bar. It's one of the bars.
It's the bar. And
we like the Olympics. We just don't understand sports sometimes. It's okay.
Not all of it. All of it in one thing. But she's coming back for another competition.
Yeah, it's her last one in the events.
I'll be surprised.
I feel like she's still gonna run away with gold.
Oh, there's no question about it. I'd put money on it right now if I was a betting man.
You feel me?
But no, man, I really I'm upset because there is a space in this world for people to degrade her and treat her like she isn't as valuable as she actually is. And because she decided to take a beat, because she needed to take some rest for her mental health, and that just tells me how much work that needs to be done. And this is a great step in that direction.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if a Olympic athlete can have a bad day, that tells me that someone who is struggling to pay rent, who might be a single mother, or might be working more than 2 jobs at any given time, they deserve to have a bad day and still get paid for it, mind you, to still be given a bit of grace in that. And that's my little soapbox. Not really little, because it is a big issue.
Go off, King.
It is a big issue.
Go off, King.
I just hope that from Simone Biles we learn what is necessary in order to achieve greatness in our society.
Go off, King. Love it. No, we appreciate it, Jay. That was much needed. The people needed to hear it, and that we do have a mental health expert in our podcast, and thankful for your master's degree in social work and political science. We love it. We love to hear it. We love to see it. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
What do you got to share with us today?
So my weekly blurb, it's a little bit of a self-promotion. We got to feel ourselves sometimes. We haven't felt ourselves on the podcast in a minute. We give everybody else their accolades and whatnot and so forth. And we love you. We love our community. We love everybody who listens and take a listen to us.
Gas us up a little bit. What you got working? What you got in the works here, buddy?
So, I couldn't sleep last night a little bit, so I've had it on my mind for a while, and I was just like, you know what? I have nothing else to do. I'm awake. There's nothing really to do at night. I decided I wanted to make you guys hear our theme song all the time, but you haven't seen our theme song.
Oh.
So I am in the process of editing. We are going to see a music video / theme song visual that I'm in the middle of editing, and it should be done. Yeah, it should be done prayerfully. If not today, probably tomorrow. I got a few small things else to film for it, but it's looking pretty good.
I got a preview of it, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some stuff on there. You're gonna see us. You're gonna see us having a good little time.
Fun fact y'all might not know about Jeremy here is that he is a multimedia whiz.
Thanks.
This man can make nothing something from nothing and nothing from something, and I mean that in the best ways possible, because I have bore witness to his video cinematography talent for as long as I've really known him, but he really came into his own when he became the Sprint guy.
That was a thing.
That was a whole thing. Doing all the media and the marketing for this Sprint subsidiary.
For the third party of Sprint, which no longer
Absolute
exists.
Wireless.
Yes, unfortunately, they don't exist anymore. But when I was working at Sprint, there was just a time where myself and a former coworker, we made commercials for them, and those commercials turned into video, like more and more videos.
I mean, they went viral nearly. I mean,
they were hitting 1,000+ views.
So I mean, really, y'all, if you don't check it out, then you're really missing out.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. Mine's just a little. Yeah, it's going to be a little shorter than usual for the week.
No, but I just hope people. We need people to check this video out so that you can start getting paid for this.
That's the plan always.
And I mean, I want people to share it when it comes out. I want people to like it.
Share the heck out of it.
I want people to really look at it and observe the talent that is 100% present within the work that you do.
And yeah, definitely all done. Minimal budget. Imagine what I could do with a budget.
Imagine what you could do with a budget.
But yeah, just check it out. Like I said, it'll be, if you don't see it tomorrow, which would be Wednesday for the people listening to the podcast, definitely soon, very soon, probably by the end of the week. Yeah, that is my weekly blurb. We appreciate you guys for listening. Always love hearing your thoughts and comments on the serververse, as we like to call it now. Since
I like that now. I like that now.
We were saying it like intermittently throughout the interview.
The serververse is now canon.
Oh yeah, it's now a coined term thanks to Space Jam 2. I just want to point out some of the comments that we've seen on some of our pictures on Instagram. Nick Marbury, one of our good friends from college, and adult life. I posted a picture about the Lil Nas X video.
What do you have to say about it?
He said that he's using outrage to boost his content. Whether you're a fan who shares it because you love it, or someone who shares it to bash it, he gets more exposure. Which is, like I said on the previous podcast,
cut it out.
All press is good press.
100% for him.
Yeah. We also have.
What I love about that music video is that at the beginning of it, it shows a link for the Bail Fund, which is an amazing nonprofit, and he shared proceeds with the Bail Fund, I guess for the song, which I'm still confused at how proceeds work for songs and music videos nowadays, but it has something to do with the streaming number.
It's got to. I mean, because you've seen it in the Logic music video,
exactly.
Suicide. You've seen it in Demi's music video for Dance with the Devil. She posted it.
Drake's music video where he gave everybody
all the money, all the money, and now Industry Baby. And it's just it's amazing what artists can do, and hopefully they see my work and we can work with them, and I'll be doing music videos for artists as well.
Real deal, bro. Real deal. You deserve that.
But that's our weekly blurbs for the week. We appreciate you guys for listening again.
Be sure to like and share our podcast as well as all our social media. Be sure to know that you can follow us on Instagram at Blerd Survival Guide, on Twitter at Blerd Guide, on Facebook at Blerd Survival Guide, and you can even email us at blerdsurvivalguide@gmail.com. And we want to hear from all of y'all about what we should talk about next, because we really never know until the week of. So
sometimes the day of. But definitely follow us on our personals as well at JBear3295
and at JDub0283.
Keep surviving, everybody.
Keep surviving, everybody.
Listen to the theme song.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.